a little bit of a review on some of the long-standing Metaverse game style setups. Just have a few that are extremely interesting, and with the price of your Ethereum at the moment being so low, you can see that clearly land in these particular games that at the peak of the market were a minimum price of between, well, around 8,000 US dollars. That was the minimum set price. So uh, we've seen about a $7,000 decrease in those maybe less, maybe a $5,000 decrease in those sets of land. So, for instance, one of the big ones here was the voxels.com. So again, it's a very large platform. It's done some incredible work, and it is in its own design and its own way very, very clever. Lots of land are designed and based on street maps, road maps, real areas. So this, there's a lot that goes into that. Extremely, extremely lot that goes into this. So if you click into a piece of land, you get to buy parcels of land. They may be available here, otherwise you have to go to, so you're looking at, okay, you're looking at what point, just under $1,000, maybe $800 now. This is $1,000. In the peak of the market, these were $8,000, $8,000 for the smallest piece of land. So we can go and have a look at that one. So now you have this square piece of land, which is available. Visit that land, take you into this space, which is your space, and obviously you can move around and so design your own land. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can design in this one by bringing in your own CTLF model format, in which case you can structurally develop everything you see in this land to be what you would like it to be. Hence the ideas for the virtual real estate, which I'm currently chipping away at. The plan there is to have a fully functional 3D property which you can, like these, walk through and potentially go upstairs and do all manner of things. That was where that train of thought's going. Now, go back to someone else's land here, someone that has developed some things perhaps. Okay, so you can see the avatars there now. That's the avatar of my character in this game, and the person that purchased this land has decided to obviously display art. These most probably NFTs. You can also have basic things at the moment in this one, I believe. I could walk up to the artwork and it will give you information, and you can click it to go to other places. Board Ape copy. That one is clickable, so obviously you can sell your own art, you can advertise your own 3D space, you could have your own 3D business in one of these, and If obviously you're in the right market, I'm sure it will work out quite well. So what do I mean by the correct market? All the people that generally end up in these spaces are looking for things to put on their land. It's all good to have land, then you have to put things on it. Now that is a lot of work and takes a lot of time, and as you can see, a lot of people have realized this, and it is still very much in this world, it's still very much utilizing the old very block 3D characters, whereas if you move into space will give you a much better land quality and a much better visual metaverse, if you like. So again, you can buy land. I believe the smallest is 200 squares, 200 square meters, and you can put whatever you choose to put on that in that land. And so you can choose to host business events in that particular area. You can put a property on that's been designed by myself. See the plots of land here, and it is a really good beginning point for where I believe ComSpace is going to end up. An interesting concept. Today, VR client ComSpace. You can see some of the larger ones are still quite expensive, unrealistically expensive, for 40 ETH, so that's $40,000 for that extra large piece of land. That's $2,000 for a small piece of land, and a medium piece of land here is a lot, too much. So in essence, you just surf around for a good piece of land in a good area that you want to develop on, or perhaps host events on. You can actually even rent under smart contract. You can rent your land to someone else to use. So in essence, you can copy reality by creating a 3D property and then rent the land out with your 3D property based on that land, and take digital rent through a smart contract written in Solidity. So that's obviously a very pivotal point moving forward with these sorts of metaverse style games and land, avatar ownership, and ownership of what you put on your land in that virtual space. So things like avatars are able to be created. Means you need to know a little bit about creating characters in Blender or other 3D things. You also need to understand about game rigging of those characters, textures, and a lot of other things. Once you have all that in place, you will be able to basically build any character and rig that character so that you can be that character in your own space that you have purchased. In essence, you can also fill out wardrobes or shops with virtual clothing, virtual wearables for their avatar in-game in these sort of areas. You can download the VR client. was trying to find some information on the SOM space and wasn't sure if it was on OpenSea or on their website, but I did see that they were going to support the Tesla suit from obviously Tesla. I inquired about the Tesla suit, which was around at the time I think was 13,000 US dollars, and I believe the potential idea, or at least the suggested idea from SomSpace at the time, was to use that technology going forward when it was fully functional and fully released. In essence, you will then have a multi-sensory metaverse that you can create in. So some of these things I think ongoing will be still quite profitable in the coming market. And you can see SomSpace is only $1.50 at the moment. Certainly not any financial advice, but as you can see, it has gone from a $25 asset down to a $1.50. So in essence, it is as low as it was in the beginning stages. It's certainly an interesting look. Um, that's where I stand on the SomSpace and the voxels.com. I think both of these are extremely interesting spaces and have really been around in the Web3 space for a fairly long time, considering, and they offer a very unique, different set of layouts and design. But overall, these, I believe, are some of the biggest ones to continue to look at over development. And that's my point of view on voxels and SomSpace. Most people know Sandbox. I think Sandbox is an interesting Minecrafty style setup that utilizes NFTs and land, very similar way, but again, more like the Minecraft style. And you have Decentraland again. It's a good beginner. There's lots of these. Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Again, very similar. And I believe Decentraland will be around for a very long time also. So more than likely, not a bad one to sort of investigate more. Right, that's the overview of some virtual real estate ideas and clothing, virtual wearables for these sorts of spaces. And I have the full workflow for most of those digital assets finalized now. It's thankfully getting to the just creating side of things, as the programming and technical side's been taken care of. And so moving forward, that's where this will be going. So if anybody's out there that needs help with their land